and Happy New Year to you. This is pretty amazing that we are in 2019 already. It's already been a really fast year. 2018, I don't know about you, went by like if it was just, you know, at the speed of sound. So, anyway, we're doing a ton of changes here. We want to thank everybody for staying with us, all of our sponsors, and we've got some new stuff coming out. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it as the first episode of 2019. It's hard to believe that we are already at 284 episodes. This is episode number 284. So we've been around for a while, not going anywhere. We got lots of things planned. I don't know if you were how long you've been hanging out with us, but back in 2015 is when we started this thing, and didn't even know what we were doing, and kind of just started with solo shows. Then it grew to online interviews, and now we're moving more into in-person covering events, those kind of things. But this show is all about you, right? It's all about the truck driver, how to help you as far as inspire you to be better, give you tips on being more professional, give you some business advice if you're an owner operator, give you some career advice if you're just starting out. And if you know nothing about trucking, then we're hoping that we can help you show you the trucking industry that we know, which is a positive voice and a positive reason to be in this. It's the people you get in this. There's some amazing people, many that I'm happy to call friends, colleagues, and I've been in this thing for, I don't know, it's got to be like 35 years now. I drove for 25 years, and go back to some of the older episodes if you want to hear my story. But lots of things have come on. So what we wanted to do is, podcasting along with video or anything else is just you kind of, it evolves. You just get started and you try. It's very hard, even if you have it all mapped out in a big plan. You actually probably don't even know what's going on. Like, it's not, the plan changes 100 times, and that's generally for business and careers anyway. But it really happens that way when you're doing anything online, as far as podcasts or video channels or any of that kind of stuff. So we've been trying some things this year. 2015 is when we started, and we were just kind of we started with, I think, 5 shows a week. It was just brutal. It's too much for me to keep up with. I didn't even know what I was doing. We went down to 1 show a week, and then at the beginning of 2018, we went up to 2 shows a week, and we are now going to stay at two shows a week for 2019, possibly 3 shows by the end of the year. We'll see how it goes, but there's lots of content on here. So let's just start with some of the basics. Let's start with probably a major change that you're going to notice if you haven't been following us already is the branding itself. So we have changed our logo. The reason that we had to make this change is when we designed the logo, we designed it for online. And then when we went to get it printed on hats or shirts, it didn't work. So we've had to come out with a logo now that is a little simpler, shows a little more about what we do, and hopefully will be easier for people to find and to understand what we're trying to do. We are the positive voice of the transportation industry, and there's a lot of other people that are doing similar things, but we aim to keep it positive. We're not here just to show crash videos or anything like that. We do show some of that stuff, but we try to show it with the message that goes along with it. So the branding for the podcast, you're going to see new logo, you're going to see new branding on all of our platforms and channels, and that is going to be a big, big thing. That is the big change, probably the big change that you're going to see for 2019 when it comes to actual branding. Okay, so that's a big thing. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about some of the other changes we've got coming. So all right, so let's just talk about some of the media sponsorships that we have coming up. So we our aim, we've always been in the industry. We've got some great sponsors on us. We have returning sponsors: Rosedale, Driver Check, Fleet Tax Services, IMVR, Ontario Truck Driving School. Did I mention Rosedale? I think I mentioned Rosedale. And so we've got some great people that have been with us, and they are returning, and thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. But we are trying to get not just stay inside the industry, because I think where we need to actually do more promotion is outside the industry. A lot of us that I talk to, and a lot of the associations I'm with, we go to seminars and we talk about how great we are, and we already know we're great, but we don't tell the people outside of the industry that. So that's where we are aiming to get. Oh, I forgot Chrome Supply Warehouse. Sorry, guys, didn't mean to forget you. But I'll talk about them in a minute because we're coming back to that. So let's just talk about our media sponsors. So we've got some new media sponsorships that we started for 2019 that are not necessarily in trucking. Some of them are, some of them aren't. The first one is probably a big one with my friend Bob Schulteis and his team over at RJS Motorsports. Now, Bob is actually in transportation. He's a safety guy, but he's also a race car driver. And one of his sponsors is Driver Check, which everybody knows. They do drug and alcohol testing. And they're also one of our sponsors. So it was a really good fit. And we saw Bob over the years. We actually first met him at a cancer event for Trucking for a Cure back in September. And since then, Bob and I have been bumping into each other over the time, you know, just at different events, some of them for Driver Check, some of them just in the industry. And we really got along well, and we decided that we want to make this more of a firm partnership. So we are a media sponsor for RJS Motorsports. And what does that mean for you? It means we're going to take you to the races, my friends. We're going to be talking about how Bob's year's going. You're going to see more interviews. You probably saw a couple because we did a couple last year, but we're going to do some more in-depth stuff with him. And I think we're going to be attending some of the events, maybe not all of them, depending on when they are, but we will be out at the track with him. We'll be doing some other stuff with him. And I think it's going to be great. And the reason is that there's a really tight knit people that like race car driving and trucking, so it's not that far out, but it gets the trucking out into a different space. And, you know, maybe we can bring some of those race car fans into the trucking thing and at least get an idea of what we do and how we do it, and maybe promote that to people that we're doing. So that's one partnership that we've got coming up starting this year, starting January 2019. A couple of them are the shows. Now, we covered a lot of shows last year, and you know, some of the shows we will do our best to attend shows, but there's a couple shows that we were really happy with, and one of them was the Woodstock Truck Show with Scotty and his team. Now, we'll cover them because we cover them through Special Olympics, but then some of the other ones that we're looking at is also the Loud and Proud Show. That's the one up in Orangeville or Mono, Ontario. Jay Henry and his team, we've reached out to them. So there's a couple that are not confirmed. The ones that are confirmed is the Great Canadian Truck Show in Flamborough. That one, my friend, is going to be the last weekend in July. Well, it's July 26th, 28th area there. We're going to be talking a lot about them. Kevin and his team, we were impressed with what they're doing. They used to be with the Fergus Truck Show, so it's not their first rodeo when it comes to truck shows. And we're going to be talking to him and promoting them. Upcoming their show, we'll be covering it the best we can and all that kind of stuff. So the Great Canadian Truck Show is one of them. The other truck show that we've confirmed is Marlborough Truck Show. Now, Marlborough, if you're not sure where that is, it's out by Peterborough and out towards Belleville there. There's a lot of country festivals that go on out there. And Ruth Potts is the one that's taking care of that festival. Now, Ruth used to do the Sterling Truck Show. So we have been dealing with people for a long time in this space. And Ruth is in charge of that. She's managing that show. It's a brand new show. They've got a lot of work to do because they're still building, I think, a facility or something out there. But that show is going to be at the beginning of July. So we're going to be a media sponsor for them as well. You'll see our logos on their sites. We'll be talking about them on this site, and we'll be talking about them and how you could be involved. So that's some of the stuff that we're going to be doing as far as the truck shows. And we will be at the other ones, you know, stuff like Clifford and stuff. We may go if we can. Love to cover the shows. But as far as being official media sponsors, those two truck shows and RJS Motorsports are the new ones. Of course, we always have our ones that we're media sponsors for, which are the Truck Convoy for Special Olympics. Super amazing cause there. You probably saw our coverage last year. We're going to be involved with them again this year as always. Trucking for a Cure, hey, it's their 10th one. We've been with them since the beginning, so we will be involved with them as well. So those are the media sponsorships that we have. As far as association sponsorships, Hamilton Fleet Safety Council is one that we're always involved with, and of course TTSAO is one that we're always involved with as well. So those are the association sponsorships that we have lined up right now. There may be more down the road as we meet new people and learn new things, and so those are our media sponsorships. So we're gonna take a break here, and when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other changes to the format of the show.